which I absolutely adored the Gauntlet game, and this seems to be Gauntlet 1. I can't see any difference between Gauntlet 1 and this, but I can't remember playing Gauntlet 2 on any system, so I've nothing to make a comparison with. And the last thing I picked up, Mission Impossible. They should have really changed the name to Mission Piece of Poo, because it is really bad. That I don't think I will play. Now the last one, I didn't realise apparently is a little bit of a cult classic amongst the NES, and that's A Boy and His Blob. Now we understand there's a remake on the Wii, but I didn't know it was out for the NES. I picked that up for £2, and I've been doing some reading and I've played it a couple of times. Oh, it's Trouble on Blobolonia. I've played it a couple of times and it's enjoyable, but I really need to find some instructions for it, because it is quite difficult to figure out. Anyway, I'll stop this off there and I'll show you how I tidied the room up slightly. Now this is how I've currently got the majority of my carts and discs set up. I do need some more storage space quite desperately. As you can see, it goes from like PlayStation, GameCube, there's a Saturn, come across to the Mega Drive, we're back up here to more Mega Drive, Mega CD, there's 32X, then it's all SNES boxed ones. There's my little Master System collection, and right at the end are my two lonely boxed Game Gear games, and on the top we have, that's the few PlayStation 1 games I have. There's my loose N64 cartridges, that's loose 32X and Mega Drive cartridges. The pile next to that, they're all Game Gear games, unboxed unfortunately. Then we have my ColecoVision games. There's quite a few nice little titles in there. My favourite probably being Shoplifter, because it was always one of my favourite games. We move along a bit further and we have, that's my Game Boy games, all loose, no boxed ones. And on the top there's a couple of unboxed Game Boy Advance games, 3 or 4 I think. Next to that we have the Atari 800 cartridges, the top 2. Actually, top 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've got a new one from somewhere, I don't know where. And underneath my unboxed 2600 cartridges. The Pac-Man is for the 8-bit system, the 8-bit computers, not the 2600, etc. There's my boxed Atari games and my boxed and sealed Intellivision games. And I keep thinking so much I want to open them and play, purely because of one game, Carnival. I absolutely adore the game, always have, and I am dying to play it again. Next to that we have Circus Charlie, which is sort of it's sort of like Fiendish Freddy on the Commodore 64, but that was for the MSX. That is also sealed. Next to that we have my unboxed and one boxed NES collection. There's all the way up, and there's a unboxed Game Genie there, which I've never actually used because I don't like cheating. I'm crap enough at games, so I don't see the point in cheating anyway. Right on the floor we have, oh, actually that is something else which Bobby brought up for me, but unfortunately the power supply seems to be FUBAR, so I can't get it to work, and that's an Atari 810 5¼ floppy drive for the Atari 800 XL, which I have 2 of in that box there. It's a shame, because I just love the sound of loading a disc off the Atari drives. It's just so primal. So at the moment I've got to stick with using my Atari to SIO lead and using my laptop as a fake disk drive. That case there is my loose SNES cartridges, including some NTSC ones. Luckily my SNES, as you will see soon, can play both. Now what I've tried to do is separate things in certain boxes. I need more cartons like this as well. Now this is my controller carton, sorry, which has well, damn near every single controller in I could ever need, and I've got easy access to them. What I've been doing is I tie wrap them. So I just cut the tie wrap and then retie them up afterwards. It's to stop things getting tangled, because I was sick of the whole tangle thing. This box here, that holds my Intellivision, my ColecoVision, and the ColecoVision driving adapter and trackball. This is why I need more storage space. I want all of these out, excuse me. That's just all the latest mags I've been reading. There's the latest issue of Retro Gamer, with a very good article on Axeleon, which I do actually own, but I've never played yet. This is the miscellaneous box of Doom. This is basically where I've got like doubles for certain systems which I've got out, or systems which I know I can get access to quite easy if I need to get into them. This box here, well, it started out as a Commodore box. There's an Amiga 500, Amiga 500 Plus, both with 1 meg RAM expansions. There's my Amiga 1200 with an 8 meg RAM expansion and an 8 gig hard drive in, and a Commodore 64. But then it started to get took over a bit because my Spectrum 48's on there. My Spectrum Plus, sorry. That's my Cambridge Z88. And that's an LCD screen for the Xbox. Now the whole idea of that is Bobby's donating an arcade cab to me, and that is going to be run off a second display, because I've got a dual Opteron rack mount case which I'm going to use for it, and that's going to run a second display showing like different videos of the game you're playing. I've just got to figure out how to work it yet. This one here, that's all my TV plug and play games, including the sublime Space Invaders one. That's the Mega Drive one with the tacky little pretendy Mega Drive attached to it. That's the normal Atari 10-in-1. That's Commodore 64 DTV. Now if I can convince him to do it, Bobby has actually converted one of these so he can connect a disk drive and keyboard to it, so it's basically a full working Commodore 64. That's just all video and audio hookups in there, and that's like miscellaneous controllers, things like the Buzz controllers. There's an Xbox arcade controller, and 8-bit joysticks, like with the old 9-pin D-sub connectors. There's about 6 or 7 in there. Different power supplies again, all neatly bandied up so nothing gets damaged. Now that whole case is ZX Spectrum games on cassette. Don't know how many work, because I have not really had the chance to go through them all yet. Them ones are for the Amstrad CPC system, and I'm not very good with a zoom, so if anybody's got epilepsy and I'm causing you to have fits, I apologise. This is my very meagre handheld box. There's 3 Game Boy Classics in, including 1 Game Boy Clear, 2 Game Boy Colors, 1 original Game Boy Advance, 2 Game Boy SPs. That's my Game Gear with the TV tuner add-on, my Atari Lynx Model 2. Now I did have 2 Game Gears, but I gave Bobby one the last time he was up because I felt sorry for him, he hasn't got one. That's a box of Electron games. Tried most of them, not too bad. This I picked up at a car boot sale for the sum of £3. It is an entire box of copied Amiga floppies, and also Amiga cover discs. In total, there's close to, I think, 1,000 discs in the box, which I thought was not too bad. There's the mags I've been reading, all the old ones. They're going to be going in the skip soon unless anybody comes and takes them off me. On the back bit here we've got two Amstrad CPC464 colour monitors. One, the screen is blue, and the other one, the power supply is blue. But I have no knowledge of how to put them, like to switch the parts over. That is a monitor for an Amstrad CPC464 Plus, which unfortunately won't work with the ordinary CPC464. Now the reason I'm saying that is because I have an Amstrad CPC464 and 464 Plus, but the 464 Plus, a couple of the keys don't work, and they are keys which are required to load games. So I have to run them on the little green screen, the one which originally came with the 464. It's just not nice looking at games in green. Right, behind here we have, there's my Sega Saturn light gun boxed, a boxed Sega Saturn. Mad Dog McCree for the Philips CDI, which I can't play because I don't have the digital video cartridge. Sega Saturn steering wheel. There's the Amstrad 464 underneath there. Oop, can't focus in on it, it's too dark. A twin stick arcade controller for PlayStation 2, my Atari Jaguar. There's my boxed Atari Woody. And behind there we also have a boxed Mega Drive, a boxed Master System 1. What else is there? There's a boxed Nintendo 64, and there's something else and I can't think what it is. This is why I need more space. And the systems we have here, that's an MSX, it's a Model 1 I think they call them. Was it MSX1? That's an Acorn Electrum with all its polys. We have an Atari ST there. That's the Amstrad 464 Plus there. And then I have three ZX Spectrum Plus 2s. All the Plus 2A, which was the grey model, if I think rightly. Now to the bane of my existence and the bane of my game playing life. There we have three Fubad 360s. Two of them are flashed, one of them isn't. I've got an X-clamp kit in one of them, so what I intend to do is transfer it over and hopefully get one working one out of three bad ones. Addendum, yes, I'm a ball sack. I actually forgot to show you the consoles what I set up. Right, what we have here, we have a SNES with a Super Wildcard DX on, which means I can play games from any region, and also if I want to try a game out, I can play it off floppy. Amiga CD32, woo. Vastly underrated system. Yes, it was just an Amiga 1200 with a CD drive, but it was good. There's my original PlayStation 2 FAT. Commodore 64 with a Dr. V64 underneath. There's my GameCube, NES, and my Zone 40, which I intend to do a review on soon because that is just absolutely hilarious. There's my Milton Bradley Vectrex. Unfortunately, no overlays for it. Dreamcast. There's my Mega Drive. And there's my Mark I Saturn. The one with the oval button. Not the oval buttons, the lozenge-shaped buttons. And over here we have, if you can see them, I don't think you'd be able to. Nope, there's not enough light. Under there we have my Philips CDI and my original Xbox. Right, catch you soon.